Okay, this is another one of these 10-minute videos on networking from the command line. And so we can start to look at a whole bunch of things related to the internet from the command line. The first is, where might we, what computers does our computer know about? And so we can use the net7201-r command to take a look at our routing table. And so we can see our default gateway, which in this case is 10.100.144.1. And one of the interesting things is when you do these commands at home, you will get very different answers than when you do them at John Jay, because this is a managed network. So some things that would work on your home computer won't work here because we have firewalls and all sorts of safety stuff, not all of which I frankly know about. Okay, so netstat can be used for some other things on your own computer. So you can also look at the ports to which you are listening, if you spell the command correctly. Extra T there. And so you can see that we're listening to quite a bit here. And, you know, these sockets are the sockets that are open. Most of them are used internally. DNS responder, but is not. But GPG agent. We've also got some HTTPS connections because I have the browser open in another window. I got to talk faster. All right. So this is going to end at some point, just very quickly because I want to keep this under 10 minutes. So there'll be other videos. All right. So, and the last one is where are there actually connections? And that one, netstat-a. And so I think that the most interesting thing is to look actually at the foreign address. So if we look back here, we can see, these are HTTP connections to other places. So, these are the sorts of things you want to know what it is that you're listening to. Okay. If I'm listening to the local host, I'm not too worried. That's my own computer. All right. There's some ones that you can try at home where you can release your IP address and let the router reassign you a different one. And you do that with sudo dhclient-r. That releases it. And then you just get it back with sudo dhclient. That's an example of domain separation because you're affecting not just yourself, but your own account, but also any account on the computer. If you do ifconfig, right, this returns all of the network devices, and you can use ifconfig up or ifconfig down to take down any network device, including your wireless or whatnot. If you want to restart it, you can do that all from the command line. I guess that's not that surprising. One of the really interesting things, and this does come in useful, I'll tell a story offline about this, is you can use whois to find out who's behind a website. So whois howtogeek.com. Some websites, have an about page, but some don't tell you. You can see who actually registered the domain name. And so get the phone number Here it happens to be Google, but you know, kind of interesting. I didn't know that they own them. And then you can also find out the results of your DNS request. Remember, DNS is domain name service. So how do you change Facebook into an IP address? Well, if we want, we can say host Facebook. I think Facebook has banned it at John Jay, but we could say host Google. Of course, it might have been that I didn't put facebook.com. So let's try facebook.com. Let's see. Okay. So there it comes back with an address. All right. There's a really interesting command, which is a pain in the ass on the Mac, called MTR. It's called my trace route. It used to be called Matt's trace route. And this is an example that really any command that you're using is just a program. Generally, it's a C program compiled and put in a directory. And so Matt's trace route has become my trace route, and I'll show you how to use it. So if I type which mtr, so anyway, so if you want to see like where the command actually is, you can do which ls, shows you it's in /bin/ls. Matt's trace route is in, well, I did this, so let me pull this up. It didn't do it in the shell. So this is MTR how to geek, and this, if I do this, it's going to ask for my password, but it's going to show me, at least to the extent. Now, if you do this at home, you'll see a whole bunch of them. This is being cut off by one of the firewalls, but you can actually see a whole series of packets. Actually, I could do this in with an outside connection, and I'll show you a completely different story. I'm going to stop here and then continue with CURL.